Welcome to my video about 37 developer tools for 2023. In this video, I will be sharing a list of software developer websites and tools that I've either used a lot, or I used a few times, or I may be investigating further. I plan to make other videos to follow up on some of these technologies. So the list of URLs I will show and mention in this video series is included in the description below. And towards the end of the video, I will show a link to where you can download this list of links using your web browser. And so I hope these websites and tools will help you in some way. If you've never heard of them, great. And if you have, then you can skip to the next one. I did want to mention also, I'm not sponsored currently by any of these companies or tool vendors. So let's go ahead and get started. So here is the notepad file that I created that has all of the websites that I will be briefly talking about in this video. And this video may be a little bit longer, and I will include like the chapters in the YouTube video if you want to skip ahead. But here you can see there are lots and lots of interesting tools here. So we will be taking a look at those in this video. I will mention a few from the end of the list first, and then basically just go down from the top of the list to the bottom after that. So the first site I wanted to mention or tool is Strapi, and I do have a few other videos where I talk about this tool. It's been really great working with it, and I've been building some sites like backend and content management systems. This is a headless CMS. It's 100% JavaScript and it's fully customizable. I've integrated it with third-party APIs like SMS services and email services, as well as like email templates, which again, I have a video about that. So if you're in the market to need a headless CMS, you should take a look at Strapi. It's got great support, a great community around it, and a lot of support and so forth on the GitHub web pages. The next site is called Chartbrew, and so this is the interactive dashboard and client reports. It can track the most important metrics from all your data sources in one place. And there's also a plugin for Strapi, and I have some videos about that I will include in the link in the description of the YouTube video. The next website is called yworks, and so I included a couple pages here, the demo page and the app generator page. So yworks, there is a lot of online demos here, so you can see what kind of applications you could create using the yFiles diagramming library. And if you go to the yFiles feature page, it contains more information about the various capabilities it has to offer. So here there are 26 of 314 demos. I mean, there's just so many things you can do with this tool. It's really amazing. So if you have any type of needs for data visualizations like this, you should take a look. And the app generator, create visualization prototypes quickly and easily. The low-code solution for beautiful graphs. For everyone, for techies. So you can read a little bit different take on it. So this is a browser tool that lets you visualize your choice of data as a diagram. The underlying yFiles SDK makes this possible in a few easy steps. You can rapidly create diagram app prototypes with very little programming knowledge, share proofs of concept with your colleagues and customers, create scaffolds for your future yFiles powered diagramming application. And so they just have some more information here on their app generator page. Rapid prototyping, get started easily, let's not reinvent the wheel. and it just really goes on and on. It's a very amazing tool. You should give it a look. The next site is Webinoly Optimized NGINX Web Server. Install, configure, and optimize your own web server in seconds. A complete LEMP stack, that's Linux, Ubuntu, NGINX, MariaDB, or MySQL, and PHP, or you can install individual packages according to your needs. One of the most reliable configurations to host your websites, and you do it in one step. And so I also wanted to mention another YouTube video that explains all of this in a lot more detail. Let me go ahead and pull that up here. So here I've highlighted in the text file the YouTube video. If you want to pull that up, it does go into, like I said, a lot more detail about setting all of this up to host like a WordPress website inside of a Oracle virtual machine instance. Now let's go ahead and pull up the GitHub page for this. So here is the GitHub page. An optimized NGINX web server, a powerful set of commands for doing just about anything you could wish. One of the most reliable configurations to host your websites, and you can do it in one step. So there's good information here on the GitHub page, and then there's one other web page here you can look at how to install it. And it mentions the supported sites such as simple HTML sites, PHP sites, native support for WordPress, reverse proxy sites, parked sites or alias domain forwarding, and fully custom sites. Use your own custom NGINX configuration. And there are some warnings here. If you're not familiar with server administration, you may not want to use this tool. So you do want to pay attention to the warnings. And the Linux distribution supported are Ubuntu 22.04 and 20.04. So there's some really great information here on setting it up that you should take a look at if you're interested. The next site is called retool.com, retool.com. Build internal tools remarkably fast. This tool looks amazing. I haven't had time to actually use it. I've just been reading about it, and I would like to use it on a future project, so I've just been reading some of the documentation. Here you can see some of the companies that are using it, and just some of the information about the tool. Connects to anything like REST, GraphQL, gRPC API. It empowers you to work with all of your data sources seamlessly in one app. It's built for developers, highly hackable, so you're never limited by what's available out of the box. If you can write it with JavaScript and an API, you can build it with Retool. So here are some comments from users of the tool. One of the best apps with the worst marketing. It's transformative. Building a custom dashboard in-house for your customer support. Have you thought of UI, UX, access control, staging versus production environment? Yep, thought so. Better use Retool instead. Thank me later. I mean, there's a lot of really great comments here on this tool. Get started today building your internal tool in under 10 minutes. So let's look at a couple other pages here. The admin panel. The fastest way to build an admin panel. Save hundreds of hours with pre-made templates, integrations, and components. So you can try it out by clicking there, or you can get a demo. Easily connect to your data source to get building right away. Drag drop and build your admin panel. Build fast with 50 plus drag and drop components. There's a live demo there you can click on. Looks like a Firebase admin panel possibly. Retool provides the building blocks for any internal tool. Whether you're building a basic CRUD interface or refund management software, internal tools that have the same building blocks, tables, text boxes, drop downs, etc. Retool gives you a simple way to connect these building blocks with your own data sources so you can assemble any custom internal tool fast. And this was another interesting web page I found on their website, generating an API from a CSV file. Again, this is on the Retool website. And so you have a couple options here. Upload a CSV, which you can browse your files and do that, or build your own, or use a public data set. So I'll quickly show you that it only takes a few seconds here to make an API. So let's click most populous US cities. Then I'll click next. There's the data. I'll click next. Here's the endpoint URL. So we can generate an API, transform, write to a database, or generate an app. So let's generate an API. And it says it'll be deleted if it's not been used in like 30 days. So there's the API. And then we can click on it. And it pops open a new web page with the information found in that API, which then you could use in your web application that you're developing. So I just have found this particular tool to be helpful when kicking off some new software programs and wanting to access some public APIs. So definitely give it a look. The last thing I'll mention, the self-hosted Retool. You can deploy Retool on your own infrastructure in less than 10 minutes and access your data no matter where it is. And so here it talks about for the most complex regulated environments and industries. The Retool self-hosted is designed to help all kinds of companies securely create internal apps. Healthcare, you can see some of the companies, financial services, Fortune 500s. So you don't just have to use the external site, you can build and host it yourself in your own environment. So definitely take a look at it. Is a really great tool. Could save a lot of time. So now I'm going to get started back at the top of the list that I showed here, and I'll bring that back on the screen for a moment. So I'll be starting with number 1. As I mentioned, there was just a few I really wanted to highlight, some of the ones that I've been working with more recently. And so again, we'll go back to the top of the list now, starting with number 1, and that's Bitly. So Bitly has link management software, QR codes, dynamic solutions to fit every business need, and link in bio. Curate and track links for social media profiles. And the pricing, if we take a look at that, there is a free plan, which includes 50 Bitly links per month. So it's nice if you need to get started and try it out and get some things set up on their platform. And so here you can see the detailed feature comparison between the link management, the QR codes, and link in bio, custom domain essentials, campaign management, data and analytics, data delivery, platform access, admin features, customer success. So definitely a lot going on here. With Bitly, you may want to take a look at that website. As it says there, connect to your audience with branded links, QR codes, and link in bio that will get their attention. So number 2 on the list is Can I Use? The Can I Use website provides up-to-date browser support tables for support of front-end web technologies on desktop and mobile web browsers. So here, if we scroll down to the bottom of the web page, you can see the legend. Anything in green means it's supported, red means it's not supported. This yellow says partial support, or gray support unknown. And so this was for the CSS grid layout level 1. So I think it's really helpful to be able to look up certain features of web browsers and be able to get a quick overview of how it may be supported, so that you'll know as a developer if it would be broken on certain web browsers or if it's going to work properly or partially work. So definitely use this website, look up the different features that you're interested in supporting, and see what this site tells you. And this page from their website is like an index of features, the latest features, most search features. So we can like click on Flexbox. Let's open that in a new page, and again we can see the support, what's supported or not supported. You can mouse over these links, and there's also tabs down here: test on a real browser, known issues, or other resources. So again, this site can really save you a lot of time and help you determine whether or not you should be using certain features of web browsers in your applications. Number 3 on my list is ChatGPT. That's from OpenAI.com. And it looks like currently the site may be having some issues. Like if you try and click on this try button up here in the top of the web browser, it's like not working. But I have some other videos where I talk about this ChatGPT, which is using a form of artificial intelligence to answer questions, write code, draw pictures, just so many different things. It's really interesting. So if you haven't heard of it, maybe take a look at some of my other videos about the ChatGPT. I do think it serves a purpose in the future of the world of IT and other uses also. So definitely give it a look. So number 4 on my list is Colorzilla. It is a browser add-on web color picker and an advanced eyedropper. So I opened up 2 pages here. So click on the Colorzilla, and it kind of explains what the tool is used for and so forth. And the gradient generator, as it says, you can use this interactive page and generate gradients that you would like to use. So I've found these tools to be useful in some situations. As it says here, Colorzilla for Google Chrome is an extension that assists web developers and graphic designers with color-related tasks, both basic and advanced. Colorzilla includes a color picker, an eyedropper, a gradient generator, and many additional advanced color tools. With Colorzilla, you can get a color reading from any point in your web browser, quickly adjust the color, and paste it into another program. You can analyze a page and inspect a palette of colors. So it really is a very useful tool in web development, so you should give it a look. So here is the next website, which is number 5, color-hex. It's a color picker in a web browser. There are several tools up here. You can click on, type in value, or click on the drop-down list and pick one of these colors, and it will update the information there, and you can move things around and so forth in this interactive color picker. And also you can click on one of these colors, let's say 002147, and get lots of information about it. The color spaces, they're calling it Oxford Blue, the RGB, HSL, HSV, CMYK, and so forth values for the colors. And so then it just gives some additional information, different shades of it, different tints of it, the RGB percentages of the color, the CMYK percentages of the color, and various other information, including code you can copy and use inside of a web application. The latest palettes, there's some information about 99,202 color palettes are listed. So here I clicked on the mystery author color palette, and you can see the colors that are in the palette, and the PNG of the color palette, and you can download the color palette there. Popular palettes, so you can click on that and you can see all these popular color palettes. And again, you can click into one of these if you like the color palette and get more information about it. So this tool again can speed up your work as far as working on like the front end of a website or web application. So definitely give it a look. Okay, so number 6 on the list is the free color tool, providing information about any color and generating matching color palettes for your designs. So there are several links here. You can see examples, a gradient generator, a color blender, color subtraction, the 216 web safe colors, and colors by name. So let's go ahead and just put in an example here, FF0033, and hit the enter key. And here we can see information about the color itself, what the RGB color chart looks like, what the CMYK color chart looks like, the color description, pure or mostly pure red, and the color conversion, what the RGB values are, and the CMYK values, and several other configurations. And then you can see color schemes using that color, complementary color, split complementary colors, triadic colors, and so forth. And then there's some alternatives, some colors that are close to the FF0033 color, and a preview. So like a background color with, say, white text, or the font color using that color that I selected, FF0033, or what does it look like as a border color. And then it shows shades and tints for FF0033. A shade is achieved by adding black to any pure hue, while a tint is created by mixing white to any pure color. In this example, the 140004 is the darkest color, and FFFFFF is the lightest one. So then you can see tones. A tone is produced by adding gray to any pure hue. And then they have this color blindness simulator. You can see how FF0033 is perceived by people affected by a color vision deficiency. This can be useful if you need to ensure your color combinations are accessible to colorblind users. So again, this is a really useful website. You may want to give it a look. The next website you've probably heard of, Udemy.com. It's an online learning center. I've purchased and have gone through many classes on Udemy, and I found this instructor, Colt Steele. He has 1.4 million students according to this Udemy page, with 436,000 reviews. Now I've taken some of his classes, or am taking some of his classes now, and I just wanted to point out his webpage here on Udemy. You may want to give him a look. He has, looks like 22 different courses, and you can get deals on them from time to time. So you should give his courses a look. Very helpful. And one last mention here on Udemy, the microservices with Node.js and React. In the process of going through this class, it's massive. Last updated 12/2022, so pretty much it's up to date. It has 440 hands-on exercises and 371 downloadable resources and 662 lectures, 54 hours long. It's absolutely massive. But it's a really great class if you're looking to get into this type of development. So definitely give that a look. If you're interested in microservices, Node.js, React, build, deploy, and scale an e-commerce app with or using microservices built with Node, React, Docker, and Kubernetes. The next tool, CopyCat for Figma. Generate production-friendly code from Figma designs. Generate scaffolding code directly from Figma designs. So here's their website, copycat.dev. Generate production-friendly code from Figma designs. Build stunning apps and web pages faster. Save hours of valuable dev time using CopyCat. According to their site, 5.1 thousand developers, 320,000 designs converted, 15 million lines of code generated, 480,000 hours saved. Product teams in the fastest growing companies are using CopyCat. And of course you can see the name of some big companies there. And they go on to say, are you doing a lot of mundane coding tasks? Do you spend hours writing components, fixing minor bugs and responsive issues? Do you feel like your time could be invested in something more valuable? Start building awesome UI in less time. Invest more time in building stunning interactions, animations, and networking. Build gorgeous UI, user interface, faster than anybody else. Build world-class UI in half the time. CopyCat helps teams of every size build UI faster. Smooth design to dev handoff. Reduce design to dev back and forth. Developer-friendly boilerplate code, and integrate repo to reuse code. Speed up your React.js development by up to 35%. Sign up with CopyCat, input your Figma URL, and build your UI faster. They go on to say, revolutionizing the designer-developer handoff. Create masterpieces with minimal back and forth. Developing pixel-perfect UI takes too much time in this day and age. We want to remove the pain point of having to write redundant boilerplate layout and atomic code so that you can focus on building truly remarkable apps faster. It works with your Stack, Bootstrap, Tailwind, Material UI, Gatsby, Emotion, JavaScript, and others. And some reviews of the product. One person said, CopyCat helped us build a production-grade website or web app and ship it quickly. The code generated by CopyCat is usable in my day-to-day work. The code generated is human-like, readable, and making editing a breeze. CopyCat takes care of all the boilerplate code, files, assets, and components, saving 22% of my time every sprint. So anyway, down at the bottom here, there's some great blog information, and then the pricing page, which we'll look at briefly, and integrations for Figma to HTML and CSS, Figma to Tailwind, Figma to Bootstrap, Figma to AntDesign, Figma to Material, and Figma to Chakra. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I don't use that particular tool. CopyCat pricing. Community Edition, free, upgraded to the individual plan after a trial. The Pro version is $49. That's got to be per month. And custom for a team. And then the feature comparison is good to look at to see what features, like let's say in the free edition versus the Pro edition. A lot of different features here. And you should take a look at the FAQ if you're interested. So definitely give this tool a look. It could really save a lot of time. I'm going to be looking at it more in depth in the future. I did want to point out a couple specifics here in the FAQ. CopyCat helps you develop React.js UI faster by generating production-ready code directly from designs. Which front-end languages are supported by CopyCat? You can generate component and layout code only in React.js. We decided to go with React.js because React.js is the dominant force in the front-end development landscape. They do support TypeScript, JSX, and TSX syntax. And who is CopyCat for? It's for developers and product development teams looking to build React.js UI faster, build predictability into front-end development, and free up valuable developer time. We want to help you speed up your development so you can go to market and test multiple hypotheses. When we created CopyCat, we all came from different stages of maturity. That is why CopyCat is great for software projects starting from scratch or mature ones with existing code bases. Then they go on to explain about the cost. You may be able to get it for free if they think they can gather valuable feedback. Otherwise, the paid plans start at $49 a month. So hopefully you find that useful, or that you will be able to use this tool in your future projects to speed things up and get work done more easily. Tool number 9 is the Github Copilot. It's cloud-based artificial intelligence tool developed by GitHub and OpenAI to assist users by auto-completing code. So don't know if you've heard of this tool before or have used it. I've experimented just a little bit with it. It does look pretty interesting, and I know there's a lot of videos about using the GitHub Copilot, but I did want to mention it in my video since I do think it's very useful technology and may again help save time and cut down costs in the overall software development lifecycle. As it says here, it's your AI pair programmer. GitHub Copilot uses the OpenAI codex to suggest code and entire functions in real time right from your code editor. It's trained on billions of lines of code. GitHub Copilot turns natural language prompts into coding suggestions across dozens of languages. Focus on solving bigger problems. Spend less time creating boilerplate and repetitive code patterns and more time on what matters. That is, building great software. Write a comment describing the logic you want, and GitHub Copilot will immediately suggest code to implement the solution, as you can see in the screenshot. So we'll hit replay. Get average runtime of successful runs in seconds, and then it generates a function for that. You can get AI-based suggestions made just for you. It shares recommendations based on the project's context and style conventions. Quickly cycle through lines of code, complete function suggestions, and decide which one to accept, reject, or edit. Here they're mentioning that it integrates with Visual Studio, NeoVim, VS Code, JetBrains. So according to these statistics, 74% focus more on satisfying work, 88% feel more productive, 96% are faster with repetitive tasks. Well, here's a quote from Mike Krieger, co-founder of Instagram. This is the single most mind-blowing application of machine learning I've ever seen. And then there's some other quotes here. GitHub Copilot works shockingly well. I will never develop software without it again. I was stunned when I started writing Clojure with GitHub Copilot, and it filled an idiomatic namespace required just like I was going to write it. Trying to code in an unfamiliar language by Googling everything is like navigating a foreign country with just a phrase book. Using GitHub Copilot is like hiring an interpreter. So again, if you haven't used it, you should give it a try and see if you like it or not. You can get a free trial. And otherwise, it looks like for individuals, it's $10 a month or $100 a year if you prepay. And check out their FAQ page for more information. So number 10 on the list is HackerRank.com. And so there's a lot of different uses for this website and or company. But for developers, like practice coding challenges and prepping for interviews, they also have a 2023 developer skills report that you can download. And I think that has really interesting information on it that you want to take a look at. And here is the HackerRank.com/dashboard. Prepare for interviews, add your skills, get certified with different areas, problem solving, Python, prepare by different topics, algorithms, AI, Java, SQL, functional programming, data structures, databases, and a lot of other areas. So if you're getting geared up for a new job or thinking about it, you may want to come onto this site and use some of their tools to help you. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new content.